What's going on, my spacefaring friends? It is time to talk about Spelljammer Academy. This is the stuff that we had heard about, the free content coming to D&D Beyond for Spelljammer to sort of preview it before Spelljammer officially launches. So it was released on D&D Beyond. It's one of those things where you do have to go in and claim it. So make sure you do so, because it says, we can go ahead and take a look at it right here. Starting July 11th, D&D Beyond users can claim the first Spelljammer Academy adventure, Spelljammer Academy Orientation, at no cost. When you unlock one adventure, you'll automatically receive the others as they release between now and early August. So please make sure you go and do that, because I don't want to have situations where people had with like the Vecna issue where people weren't able to get it because they were unaware. So let's say, what is Spelljammer Academy? Located on a remote island many miles off from shore, Spelljammer Academy is the premier training ground for adventurers looking to venture into wild space. This state-of-the-art facility hosts everything aspiring spacefarers need to prepare for adventures beyond their planet. Cadets will train alongside seasoned spelljamming instructors as they learn the ins and outs of surviving perils of wild space in the astral sea. Those that have what it takes will join the prestigious ranks of the Spelljammer Academy Navy. So what you'll find is an adventure for levels 1 to 2, battle maps, an area for the map of the Spelljammer Academy, and profiles for the NPCs. And then I claimed it, and then here it is. So I can just go ahead and click view content, and here it is right here. So you can see right here, it looks like it's going to be 4-part. Trial by Fire is number 2, Realm Space Sortie is 3, and then 4 is Behold Hakatha, I think is how you say that. So I'm torn, because I'm actually, and this is something I'm actually kind of excited about, I'm in the process of pulling together a group to run this, kind of like I did with the Don't Say Vecna, where I ran the game and I had a group of people and we got a chance to play through it, and that's how I kind of did my review of it. We sort of did it all in the gameplay fashion. Now, the fact that this is going to be released in 4 installments means that I can review each section individually. I've already been in talks with folks. My good friend Jordan with the Silent PH in the middle has said that he would love to run it, which means that I get to play in it, which means all I need to do is find some time on everyone's schedule, and then grab a group of people to play, which is pretty exciting. So I'm going to see what I can do about making that happen. But I won't, so I don't, that's where I'm going to kind of come out and say, I don't really want to look at the adventure. We can take a look at the creature statistics, and we could take a look at a little bit of like the adventure, like the background stuff at the start. But I don't really want to spoil too much for myself beforehand. So let's go ahead and take a look. We can see introduction, right? I love the art for this, by the way. I think the art is fantastic. Whoever did this, we can see some Niyagis here. I was also kind of hoping we would see like maybe an Unearthed Arcana update, or like a preview to let us play some of the new Spelljammer races that are most likely coming in the Spelljammer release. I was hoping we'd get a chance to see like a final product of those so we could play them in the sort of intro adventure. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. As you can see here, right, we have things like goblins, dwarves, half-orcs, tieflings, and maybe either a tabaxi, I guess a tabaxi in the back here, an elf. So we're sticking with basically the races that we do have. So yeah, it says, after you've explored Spelljammer Academy, continue the adventure with Spelljammer Adventures in Space. So this is essentially your intro. I think Spelljammer Adventures in Space, we'll take a look right here, but I believe it was was it 3? Started at level 3. Does it say that? Levels 5 to 8, sorry. So this little intro that you do get for free, which is also something really awesome, you'll get that to take you from levels 1 to 5 so that you can roll right into the Spelljammer Adventures in Space adventure, which I do appreciate. I gotta say, I'm a little shocked to see all this kind of good free content being put out there. Now, I say good, I haven't read it. I had my qualms about Don't Say Vecna. We'll see how this is, but I will say that the Monstrous Compendium was, the volume 1 of that was fantastic. So I guess we're basically getting what was touted as it almost feels like DLC. Does it kind of feel like that to you guys? So you know how sometimes where you'll buy a game and like some of the game, like the entire game is on the disc, but like you have to wait for the DLC to buy it to get access to something. Or, you know, when you get like a day 1 update to a game that you just bought, it kind of feels like that to me. Like, they have these 3 hardcover books that we've already talked about ad nauseum about how small the books are going to be, but the adventure only takes you from level 5 to 8. But it seems to me that they already had content to take you from levels 1 to 8, but instead they cut that out and made the level adventures 1 to 5 in its own standalone kind of free thing. So I guess in that way, it's less like microtransactions and DLC and things like that, because you are getting it for free and you're getting it in advance. This is sort of be like getting a beta or some sort of access to a game early that you're able to play it, and then you can keep your character and continue it on. Obviously, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to do that in this, but to me, it feels like this was probably written as a level 1 to 8 adventure, and then they parsed out a chunk of it and decided to release it for free and made the formal published one only 3 levels. That's the vibe I'm getting. Let me know what you guys think. All right, so let's dive back into it. So the adventure is designed for 3 to 7. That's a lot. I mean, maybe you need that many people, though, to run a ship in the spelljamming space. Is the first in a series of 4 adventures. It is set in the Spelljammer Academy on the island of Nimbrall, many miles south of the Chultan Peninsula in the Forgotten Realms campaign setting. Okay. So, welcome to the Spelljammer Academy. Promising recruits are trained here under the tutelage of experienced spelljammers who prepare fledgling spacefarers for the perils of wild space and the astral sea. Cadets learn the finer points of ship-to-ship combat, space exploration, and in some cases, clandestine operations. The newest batch of recruits has just arrived after a long, arduous sea voyage, but there's still much to do. Although it's business as usual at Spelljammer Academy, the new cadets soon learn that strange things are afoot. The purpose of this adventure is to introduce the characters to Spelljammer Academy and to foreshadow an unknown threat. So we can see we kind of have a welcome to wild space orientation, and then there's going to be an intruder alert here. So I don't want to read through too much of the adventure hooks, and then we kind of roll right into it. So let's just jump ahead to creature statistics to see. I don't see, you know what, that was it. I was hoping we'd have maybe a tease of a new creature of some kind, but that was pretty much it. Just a couple of interesting things. It does tell you you will advance to level 2 when you complete this adventure. And again, we know we have 4 total pieces, so it'll be 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then end with 4 to 5, ready to take you right into the adventures in space for Spelljammer. So, like I said, I just wanted to make this aware to everybody. I guess we can also show off the map. The map's pretty cool. Here's the Spelljammer Academy itself, right? You can see all of the different tiers and levels of it. We can click on that and open it up a little bit. This is pretty cool. I'm excited. So, and you know what? This is also whether or not this was, like I said, part of a full longer adventure that was split down into 2 pieces. This is a smart move because for most people, playing a Dungeons and Dragons campaign and having played Dungeons and Dragons does not prepare you for the concept of taking your character into space, dealing with ship-to-ship combat, and basically the perils of traveling through space and wild space and the astral sea and all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense in world that there would be sort of an academy to train you on how to do that. And it also makes sense to have an academy style setting for the players to sort of intro them to the mechanics so that they're familiar with them as they continue on. I don't know how much actual spelljamming travel will happen between this adventure and when you get into adventures in space. Maybe enough to get you the basis of the core mechanics so that when you're doing adventures in space, you kind of have that all under your belt. Again, a very smart move. Nice to see this done. I do think I would have preferred it as one whole printed book together. But either way, better to have it than not. And hey, giving it free ahead of time. And it also works very well that they were releasing this in July with the Spelljammer being pushed back to August. Gives you, or maybe it wasn't pushed back, but it was releasing in August in the first place. Either way, it gives you a little bit of taste of that week to week as you approach the release of it to kind of build the hype, which is a very smart marketing move. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on Spelljammer Academy orientation here. Like I said, I would love to review the full adventure, but I want to save it because I am going to get a chance to play through it, and we will live stream that and save all those live streams and talk about it after the fact. So, like I said, I want to preserve the mystery for myself. But either way, it's out there. It's free. Let me know what you think about this concept. Would you like to see this more going forward? This sort of almost prequel adventure released for free ahead of time? Or, you know, they also could go the other way and do like epilogue adventures. So we know Adventures in Space goes from 5 to 8. They could release for free, you know, 8 to 12 down the line as a free content. I would love that. And many of us have complained about this, that we'd love to see a level 1 to 20 campaign from Wizards of the Coast to see how they handle all of it through. But I have also stated, and I still fully stand behind this, they didn't really balance late game very much. That's why so many of these pre-written adventures that were written by WotC end around level 10, maybe 12. If you look back at some of the older ones like Tyranny of Dragons, Out of the Abyss, and all those, they usually went to around 15, 16, but those were written by third-party folks for Wizards of the Coast, not written in-house by Wizards of the Coast. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, and I'll see you all next time.